Hi there. Let's turn it around. So hi, my name is Sherilyn Dorsey, and I am creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother. And I teach entrepreneurial moms to reclaim, realign, and rebalance their lives and go after their dreams. So today I want to talk about you specifically. I want to give some attention to you and ask you the question, what's really bothering you? So I brought up my book in the beginning, which is right here. Yay, shameless plug, shameless. But I wrote a whole chapter about this in my book because it's a question really that we don't pause and ask ourselves. We tend to have knee-jerk reactions to things that are going on around us, and we really give more credit to that issue than really the larger issue that has provoked us to act that way, if that makes sense. So you've probably heard the term, the straw that broke the camel's back. Hey, live Lerone. The straw that broke the camel's back. Well, that really speaks to something that would usually be a small issue that wouldn't really send you off into this anger or, this discontent, if you will. But because you have something else going on, you're easily agitated, and the smallest thing kind of takes you there in terms of your attitude, in terms of your behavior, in terms of how you feel emotionally, and it really does affect you physiologically. So in order to really move past and have a good day, in order to create the business and life you love, you really have to dig down and ask yourself the question, what's really bothering me? Inner buildup, yes it is. What's really bothering me? And you really have to have the courage to take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror and tell the truth about what is going on with you. Is it something, let me back up even actually before I go off into anything else. The thing that I mentioned in my book, and it is on page 21 here of my book. So let that come in focus. Let that come into focus. The thing that I love that I wrote here about it, and I know that sounds funny, but it's the truth. The thing that I wrote about it here is that the first thing we have to do is what I call a self-audit. Don't look at anything around you that you may suspect is bothering you or that you want to blame for your discontent right now. The real question, it really lives in you. And you have to ask yourself, what's really bothering me? And one of the first things that I suggest that is bothering you so much is the fact that you aren't taking care of yourself the way that you should. Meaning you're not paying enough attention to yourself. You're not giving enough credence to the things that you want and need. You aren't speaking up for yourself in situations that you know that you deserve better and that you want better. You're not asking for exactly what it is that you want. Now, it's a whole nother training that we can go into for the reasons why you aren't doing that. But I just want to illuminate the fact that those are the underlying reasons most often that speak to why it is you are bothered or so discontented now and why you are so easily set off. And so what I would suggest in that moment, or once you do have enough courage or build up enough courage to conduct what I call that self-audit and find out what it is that's really bothering you, is to make a plan to come out of it. Because here's the reality. Until you address, first of all, pull it out and say what it is that's really bothering you, right? That self-neglect, that not taking care of yourself, that disregard for who it is that you are. Until you really call that out, you're not going to be able to position yourself to make a plan to come out of that, right? And you have to have a plan to come out of that. You have to have a plan to say, because this is a practice and learned behavior. Very likely, this is something that you learn from your parent, just as your children are learning from you. It doesn't matter if you tell them to do this verbally. Children learn, and we all learn through the clarity of example. Words don't teach. They're watching what it is that we are doing. So some of the things that I recommend to get out of it, and I have them outlined here in my book. And I put, I want to pull that up. Sorry guys, I'm about to head to work out, so pardon my casual look, and I'm sitting on my balcony enjoying this beautiful, beautiful day. But, okay, the bugs. I am guilty of feeling not good enough. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that will manifest itself in the way that you treat other people. You will treat them indifferently, and you will treat them sometimes, in many cases, wrong because of something that you have going on with you, and now you're really making them pay for it. So it's really a misguided aggression or misdirected aggression. So I identified 3 tips on how to move beyond what's really bothering you. That very first one is, I said, to clearly identify the issue. You have to clearly identify the issue and address it. And address it from there. First thing, or the subtext to that I attach to clearly identifying the issue and figuring it out, is to go into meditation. Meditation, it really clears your mind. It really allows the voices in your head as well as externally to quiet, and for you to hear guidance from your creator, for you to get a more clear understanding of who you are, for you to really tune in to the highest expectation of you, to the highest vibration, if you will, of you. That's one. The other, some questions I even put in here, some suggestions that you can ask yourself while you're in meditation. How can I take better care of myself now? Why am I feeling this way? What should I be doing now? What should I do next? What is it that I really want, and what do I need to be more aware of? Those are fantastic questions to ask yourself if you're in meditation and you find you can't get the answer. Maybe deliberately ask yourself those things, and because of course the more specific you get, the more likely you are, or the quicker you are, to get to your answers. The other thing I suggested is to reclaim your power over it. So if it's a thing that you are saying that, you know what, I haven't been taking good care of myself, I haven't been doing, let me see, Trace, you said, actually I overcompensate in being extra kind to others because I don't want others to feel like. Yes, we are all guilty of it, all very guilty of it. So in reclaiming your power over that, and this really answers or kind of speaks to what you're saying, Tracy, you have to say, okay, I own it, this is what I've been doing, but right now I am choosing something different. I am choosing a different way to be. Right? Because this does not feel good to me. I don't like the way this makes me feel or act. And again, physiologically, it changes your appearance. I mean, it causes stress, right? Absolutely. It causes stress. Stress causes wrinkles and crinkles and, oh, it's a lot. It's a lot, right? I don't even want to go into all of those different aspects, but literally it causes internal things like ulcers. It's really not worth it. But to move along, the other thing that I mentioned to do is to make a plan to come out of it. Again, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I want to expound on it. This is a learned behavior. This isn't something you just came up with real quick and this is an incident of it. This is a chronic, consistent behavior pattern that you need to say, okay, when this happens, here's what I'll do. I can affirm this. So I want to make sure that I meditate every morning before I get started with my kids, before I start with my significant other, before I make breakfast, whatever the case is. I'm going to make a plan daily to come out of that. And those are some of the things that we work on even in my SOAR mentoring plan, to make a plan to come out of where it is that you are now. The another way, really, you know what, it's a lot of stuff in here under that in terms of subtext, but I am just going to employ you to get the book. I would absolutely highly suggest that you get the book. It explains it all out, literally in detail, from what it is that's happening with you to what it is that you do to come out of it. It's really a fantastic read. I was just sitting here, like I said, out on this beautiful day on my balcony, just really being grateful for the progress that I've made and the progress that it has, how it shows up in my life in terms of improved relationship with myself first, but with my children and the people that I come in contact with, how it's improved my financial relationship, really with myself again in terms of my business, how it's just been an overall improvement on how I feel, look, am, all of that. And I just wanted to make sure that I shared that with you. So I hope this helps you and meets you right where you are. And if you are so inclined, please do share this. Share this with other people. You can share this now with your Twitter or Facebook followers, whatever social media platforms. Thank you, Tracy, for those hearts. I see that this resonates with you. And if this is a replay, you can also share it. It doesn't matter. So if you have any questions or comments, please do leave them now. You can leave them if we are live, but if you are watching the replay, definitely leave them on the video, and I will loop back around and we can have a discussion around it. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And remember, it's time to move beyond everyone else's expectations of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought that you could be. Bye.